Hey guys, so I've done a few videos talking about how I think some people need to be hurt, and that this idea of the stim. I made that statement in regards to the stimulus, um, but I'm just talking about period because I realized that one thing I learned about Trump is that you have some people who vote out of hatred. And like, so when they talk about like America is divided and stuff, it's those people. They're not interested in sitting down at the table. They're interested in, at best, denying state funds for like California with the wildfires, taking away non-discrimination stuff for gay and trans people, things like that. At worst, violence. So I was reading something about Trump officials voting. He's an intellectualist. Trump officials worry they're unhirable after working in Trump's White House. I'm gonna call this the Trump stink. And I've done videos on this in the past, but I haven't really dug into it. I got some time today. According to the Washington Post, as Trump continues slipping the polls, some officials in the administration are worried the association with the divisive and controversial president will harm their chances of finding good work outside the White House. Guy says he has a buddy in the administration starting to quietly move his resume around. And he knows people who he thought would be quicker to respond to inquiries have been less so. He called it the Trump stink. For those who've already left the administration, it is those who have already had deep connection to Washington and steered clear of the more controversial issues that have landed well on their feet, according to the report. Particularly problematic is having defending Trump on issues of race and immigration. Quote, Republicans who now work with Fortune 500 companies agree that any public defense of Trump on race and immigration, hot button issues on which Trump has staked his presidency, are the most problematic public positions to have taken for those seeking corporate gigs. A longtime GOP strategist who runs a public affairs firm that works with corporate clients recalled coming close to hiring a former Trump White House staffer until a Google search revealed the prospective hire's track record defending Trump on race and immigration. It ground the interview process to a halt. A lot of people who came into this in 2015, 2016, they knew there'd be a lot of stigma going into this, and it'll probably last for a very long time, probably for the rest of their lives. I don't think that's lost on anybody. Ooh, sorry. Look, Trump may be reelected, and he may not go to jail. And many of the high-level people, Giuliani and the others, they may not get convicted either. He may be able to pull out some old slick shit, pardon them, pardon him, whatever. That may happen. I don't know. Remains to be seen. My hope is that these people get hurt. This is an example of that. That, hey, now you can't get a job. Look at all the people that work for Obama who are still in government and who are still doing stuff. Like, still making putting a message out there and still making an impact. Eric Holder on gerrymandering and stuff like that. Like, there's still, that lives on. That lives on. Look, I've talked before. Let me start here. I've talked before about how Trump's whole politics is talking about dishwashers and energy saving stuff and water saving toilets and crap like that. And I've talked about how it's silly that maybe 20, 30 years ago when like technology was first coming out for energy saving stuff, yeah, I can see that. But the technology has grown. Like, a lot of us use energy saving stuff and don't even know it. It isn't as, I mean, it's big, but it's not like what I'm saying is it's more common now. And people accept, like when I got my apartment, I went out and bought an energy saving shower head. I wanted one, and I bought one out of my money. So what I'm saying is there's a market of people who are not hippies, who are not living on a combine, who are not like going, what I'm saying is they're not going extra, who are like, hey man, this stuff saves me a bunch of money on water. Let's buy it. I never had a problem with that shower head, but I'm just speaking about personally. There's people who are like that, and they care about the environment, but the fact that it saves money, Link, that's the hook. So when Trump talks about this stuff, first of all, that's not policy. It's not. And even if the federal government tomorrow was like, all right, we're not going to have any energy saving technology or toilets or anything, people are still going to buy this stuff because it's ingrained in the market now. And that's also the culture too with climate change, y'all. So that won't change. Him talking about it won't change anything. This is just, hey, redneck, I'm on your side. All this change, I hate change too. That's all that is. You know, it's no policy. A. B. Even if the government did that, that stuff's not going away because there's a market for it. I'm repeating myself, but like that stuff that's not going away. You understand? Like this isn't like these Mexicans. You know, Trump he can do something about that. They can, okay. But the technology. So Trump is a president for the boomers. He's a president for times gone by. He's a president that basically is against affirmative action. He's against the civil rights movement of the 60s. He's against in the 70s, excuse me, LBJ. He's against those things. And I'm not saying specifically on one thing. I'm saying that's been the attitude of his administration. Sessions, all these guys. These guys, they're living in the past. Fortune 500 companies are not going to stop going green because Trump wants to be an asshole when they can save money with solar panels. Fortune 500. Oh, and also they can go out there and be like, hey, look, we're better for the environment. People in the community. We can build this and we're not going to have a negative deleterious effect on the air in your community and the water. That's a hook, right? Fortune 500 companies are not going to buy this homophobic white male rage, which is what it is, about gay people and pedophiles and like Fortune 500 countries. They're not buying that. Not that these companies care about gay people, but these are see with a reasonable president. I wouldn't have to explain this. This would be common sense here. These companies are Fortune 500 companies. They're not going to engage in a policy of hatred because they can't. They'll lose money. They can't go out here and make fun of gay people and retarded people. They'll lose money. Fortune 500 companies, they can't do those things. And a lot of them don't. You have gay CEOs. It might shock you. You have gay people in the boardrooms. Yeah. So when you come into office, you're like, one of your first things, let's take away non-discrimination for gay people in healthcare. Like, what? You turn people off. Fortune 500 companies are not going to stop hiring black people and minorities and because of Trump. What I'm saying is this. Trump may be a corporatist who got elected. He's got a lot of money, got a lot of friends, got a lot of foreign interests. My hope is the people that work for Trump get hurt. And what I mean by that is it being difficult for them to find jobs. I mean it in the way of the scarlet letter, where everywhere you go, people can see, oh, you work for Donald Trump. Well, if you were with him, we don't want nothing to do with you. Goodbye. That is the hope. You know what I mean? That maybe he doesn't go to jail and all that, but usually when you work for the White House, where I'm going with it is that's supposed to like punch your ticket. Like that's supposed to be the pass to the better jobs. And if Trump can fool around and talk about fake this, fake that, fake the other, but if these people can't get jobs and they are hurt down the road, I celebrate that. Because what that means is we're further left than maybe we want to believe. And I'm talking about social. I'm talking about the social fabric of the society. We're not talking about militarily or anything else, foreign policy, none of that. I'm just speaking about the big boys, the white shoe boys. Because one thing I've realized with Trump is that America's divided. The world is dividing, which is either you're a racist who wants to go back to coal mining and doing 1950s technology and say, well, climate change don't exist and viruses don't exist, or you're not. I mean, I've spoke about Armin van Buren, that's the guy I used to listen to, Trent's producer, him having a lot of African American, black people, artists on his label, bringing them on, doing music videos with black people. Muhammad El Ami, Christian Schweitzer, bringing him in. I think just about everybody on Armada has done a song or an album with multiple songs where they've got like black artists. Like I think, what's it? Klaus Rosen, I think he done the If This World Was Mine. Marvin Gaye, yeah, he did a remix of that. It's another guy done the Michael Jackson thing, the Stranger in Moscow. Yeah, these are not racist, man. The world, I realize that they're like, you're either going to be on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. And if you choose to hear yourself with Trump, I hope you get hurt. Like, I hope you get hurt by this. And it's amazing because conservatives are like free market capitalism and all that. And which is saying that they believe you got money to do anything you want with little controls. And they're going to be hurt by that. They're going to be hurt by that because free market capitalists are going to say, "Nah, we don't want to do with you. You with Trump? We ain't with you. Bye bye. We got nothing else to talk about. Bye bye." Like that. Like it's going to be like a convicted felon, like a felony on your record. You're a felon? Okay, we don't want to. Like it's going to be like that. That is my hope. That is my prayer. Is that is their scarlet? That is their mark of Cain upon their forehead. You know, as I said, Trump may beat the charges and everything, and he may just get sued or something. He may get away with all this because rich white people don't face. For rich white people, there's a different law in this country. And that's one thing Trump has shown. It's a different law, different tax code. It just is, and they're proud of that. Yeah, they with Trump, it's the first time I've seen people actually be like, yeah, that's what we are. Yeah, like, okay. This is a different era. Well, they're dinosaurs, and they're on the way out. That's what it is. I think it also shows you that you crackers can go out here and play around with electoral college shit, play with the ballots. You can fool people on coronavirus. All this shady, sneaky bullshit you rednecks and you white trash have been doing. You can do that. You can run around with your guns and boogaloo, I want race war. You can do all that you want to. Hey, I get it, man. You got 9 guns. I get it. Whatever, man. I get it. But the wider world will never accept you people. And deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, that's why you do the homophobia and the race bait and the gay bait. Because that's all you got is teasing. You're losing. You're losing all over. And you'll just be like, well, they're Marxists. No, it's not that. It's that we want a better world, and a better world is possible. And you represent a bygone era that wasn't good for a lot of people. And I'd be damned if we have that come back. If we have that world return. So, to me, I celebrate this. It's like Trump getting sick with COVID. This idea that, and I bet you, I bet you dollars and donuts. There's some redneck out here that'll say to me, "That's cruel. You shouldn't be like that because they still need to work, and you people on the left are being mean. You're being callous." No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And that's playing upon the perceived emotionalism of the left. They're like, we're all emotional and, oh, you're feeling and all that bullshit. Like that's playing upon that. And I'm not like, dude, I'm a socialist. I'm in the fight. I'm not out here to play with white people and play with rednecks and just keep my voice down. Keep me. No, man. No, bro. Because it's gonna get worse. It's getting worse now. It's gonna get worse. Trump's gonna get nastier. The rhetoric's gonna get more and more violent. We just had a governor in Michigan almost get kidnapped. I'm not playing with these people. And you shouldn't either. Peace.